The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? I know handcuffs can help to keep a relationship spicy, but this was too much spice as Amber and Scott discuss Oh Hi. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
Oh, hi!
Oh, hi!
Oh, hi.
This is the silly name of this episode's movie. Oh, hi! Isaac and Iris's first romantic weekend getaway goes awry in a most unexpected way. Isn't that an understatement?
Yeah.
It starts off where they are headed out to the country and they stop and get fresh berries and he makes her dinner.
What, they get fresh berries. They trash the berry stand.
Yeah, and, well, accidentally, of course. And they are just swept away in the wonder of their first romantic weekend getaway at this house, just doting on each other and loving on each other. And they find a closet full of sex stuff, which includes some things, bondage things, and a ball gag. And,
ball gag?
And later that night, they decide to experiment with that. And he gets tied to the bed, and they do their deed.
They tied her first.
Yeah, she didn't like it.
And then she freaked the hell out.
Yeah, so he did. And so they have their good time, and it's ending. And he basically, she's swept away, and, you know, this is our first thing. We're a couple now, and it's amazing. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm dating other women. We are not a couple. And she's surprised, and what the heck? But the cardinal mistake this guy makes is he says all this while he is still restrained.
That wasn't
OMG.
Smart. That was not smart.
That was so dumb. So at this point, she's like, well, what are you talking about? You're a creep. You led me on. He's like, no, we're seeing other people. I'm not committed to you. You're great, but I'm still playing the field. I'm not a settle down kind of a guy. And she basically says, okay, well, you can sit and think about this, and I'm going to leave you tied up.
4 months is a really long time.
Yeah, they have been dating 4 months.
To not have clarification as to whether or not you're exclusive.
Well, and it appears that they had a conversation about safe sex, but they both had different versions of what that conversation meant.
Yeah, his was like, I can only be raw dogging you. Everyone else, I've got to put a condom on. And her definition is, no, you can only be fucking me. That's it. There's no raw dogging. That's it. Uno intercorso.
That's lovely. So, yes, they have a misunderstanding on where their relationship is. And so he sleeps the night in the restraints, and she goes down a rabbit hole that all of us has gone down at some point, whether it's an argument with a significant other or some other thing that's happened in our lives, goes deep dive into YouTube videos and articles and researching and Reddit, and comes to the realization that he just needs to experience the wonder of her being a great girlfriend, and that he should give her 12 hours to prove how amazing she is, but while he's still in the restraints.
I don't even know where to begin with this one, because there are so many screw-ups in so many places by so many people in this one. Like, yeah. Where do you want to start with this, Amber?
Well, this had, oh my gosh, so many wrong turns. She, you know, and it's so common where people are on different pages on where they are in the relationship. And sadly, you know, women frequently have a biological clock ticking. Not that she alluded to that, but they are more inclined to want to have serious relationships sooner than some guys. Not all guys, everyone's different, of course. But she thought that, okay, well, you don't know me well enough. let me show you how wonderful I can be. In the meantime, she's offering to cook him breakfast, but she's also having to hold a bowl for him to urinate in because he is still tied to the bed against his will.
It's a good thing that's somebody else's house and somebody else's bowl.
Yeah, and they did not open the can of worms of him having to go number 2, which was good because I didn't want to see that.
Well, he did state he didn't want to eat because he didn't want to have to do something more than pee.
Yeah. So she ultimately brings in a friend once the 12 hours have passed. And he's like, okay, well, undo me. And she starts to undo him. And then he starts opening his big fat mouth again when she says, well, what do you think of the 12 hours? And he was like, well, I don't know. And she's like, what? And she stops untying him because he's also restrained at the arms and the feet. So again, shut your mouth, dude. It's not that I'm rooting for you. You're just being stupid. It's like you and I have talked about on prior episodes where if you're abducted or somehow captured, you say whatever the hell the other person wants to say and you make it freaking believable.
Have we gone into the what would you do part of it, or are we still recap? Because it sounds like we're in the what would you do part of it.
Yeah, no. Say, oh my gosh, you're right. I had no idea. You're amazing, you're fabulous, but instead what he does is saying, yeah, you're crazy, and I'm going to go to the cops. Who is going to untie someone once he says that?
Yeah, that was really stupid.
Yeah, so if I was the girl, as desperately as I might want to be with someone, oh my gosh, you cannot hold somebody against their will.
Yeah.
I might beg them, plead them, give them the key. And be like, you can untie yourself whenever you want. It was just...
Actually, could he have?
Oh, you're right. He didn't have any inability to do that. You're right.
Even if he had the key.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he's not going to be able to get
He
one
doesn't have-
appendage to another
Yeah.
to twist the lock.
Okay, well then that's an empty gesture on my part then, I guess, allowing someone
Yeah, just
to hold
put the key on his stomach and walk away. You can
Yeah,
leave anytime
like,
you want.
I'll put it on a chain and put it around your chest. So what would you do? You're this guy. You have this great girl that you're hanging out with, but she's one of several girls, and I know this is a topic you can speak to.
Yes. So there's so many what would you do's with him. So many. Number one, if I'm questioning, or not even questioning, if I think we have a difference in opinion as far as...
But he didn't. None of them realized they were on the wrong page until they actually started having the discussion.
Okay. First of all, you don't take people on romantic getaways who you're not exclusive with. I mean, usually you could, but it's a very rare corner case, and both people are like very aware that is the situation, and there's no question whatsoever.
See, and that's where it's dicey, is who makes up that rule? I mean, we can say, oh, well, you're just not supposed to, but says who? And that's where it gets complicated with relationships.
Says common sense.
Well, yeah, but I mean, common sense to you, but what's common sense to you might be of non-existent thought to someone else. And I think that's where relationships of all kinds get sticky, is we all bring our own assumptions and our own behaviors to whatever relationship it is, romantic or not. And then we're like, wait, you broke the rule or you didn't follow the rule. And we're like, what the hell are the rules? Because we all bring different ones depending on who we are.
Okay. At the point, again, I think for one, you just don't do that. You just don't go on that trip.
I would agree. But I'm sure there's other people who would have no thought that it was a problem. And he was one of them.
Okay, so we hit that
So is she justified then in being upset? I would
extremely.
I mean, I can relate to that. I'd be like, too, you know what?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
Are you going away with her someone else next weekend and the next weekend after? And
Yeah, she has every right to feel let on. Because she was let on. Now, if I'm him, at the point... Now, maybe he thought they were on the same page. And at the point when he realizes they're not on the same page, he needs to shut the hell up. Because it's one of those things where there's a time and a place.
Right.
And after the first night of a whole weekend getaway fun thing, is not that time and not that place.
Whether you're restrained or not. Like, if you're restrained, absolutely don't have that conversation then. But if you are in any sort of reliant or subservient or vulnerable position, yeah, you keep your mouth shut. But
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the restraints whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not on the same page. I know what page she's on now.
yeah,
She clearly doesn't know what page I'm on.
right.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run out the rest of the weekend. I'm going to quote unquote play boyfriend for that because I've already been playing boyfriend anyway.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at this from open eyes. My eyes are open as to what this potentially could be, a glimpse. And if at the end of the weekend, I'm still like, yeah, this isn't what I want, you resolve that after you're back.
Yeah, and not even on the car ride back. You finish the weekend, you get in the car, you have the car ride, you have a perfectly good car ride, you get home.
Yeah, you get completely home.
The other person gets home, and then you can have a conversation the next day or something. But don't even have it where you have an awkward ride home.
Yeah, if nothing else, like let that weekend be a fun thing in of itself.
Yeah.
And then you can say something.
Because he wasn't a kind of guy who wanted a relationship, so I don't think he personally was interested in testing it out and see what he wanted. He liked the way things were and liked having multiple people to date because he obviously had some sort of backstory there.
So what was the thing? Is he going to go screw other people while he's in the weekend?
I would hope not, but anything's possible because
I would hope
who
not
knows what the rules are.
So no, that is a rule. And if anyone says it's not a rule, you're a bad human being. No, he is committed to her for the weekend.
Yeah.
No matter what. So just go with that. It's not like saying it right then and there does anything.
No, it doesn't. It just...
You could say in retrospect, hey, when you mentioned the couple thing, I kind of was like, warning, warning, warning.
Yeah.
And was kind of playing like, where could this go? But I wasn't for it at the start. And I'm still not. You're great, but I think it's time we move on.
So our other interesting what would you do is once the 12 hours passed, he wants to be untied. She won't unlock the cuffs. And then he says, you're crazy. I'm calling the cops. And she panics. I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I done? What have I done? And she calls a friend. And the friend comes out to the woods, but then the friend brings her boyfriend. So now there's the friend and the boyfriend who realize what's happening with the tied up guy upstairs. What would you do if you were the friend of the boyfriend and just thought you were coming for some sort of problem, but not having any idea of the scale of it?
Well,
that's dicey.
let me not jump into their shoes quite yet. Let me jump into Iris's shoes. So
Iris has issues?
yes. So I actually, in some way, kind of think it was okay that she left him tied up overnight the first night.
This is very insightful. Okay.
I mean, given the stupidity of some of the crap that he said there.
Okay, so if you punish him, but the next day, I mean, the whole weekend's ruined if you do that. You think he's going to be good-natured and just be, oh, you're right, I deserve that one.
What you do is, after you know he's fallen asleep, then you come in and undo the cuffs.
Yeah, which they ultimately ended up doing. But back to the friend and the boyfriend.
Okay, yes. Well, let me start with the boyfriend.
Okay.
On this one.
So the friend's boyfriend.
So, and Isaac knew them.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Because they had been a couple doing coupley things for 4 months.
Yes. So, like, this is more people in the space. If I'm him at this point.
Which him? The boyfriend?
The boyfriend.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Isaac and say, listen, dude, I'm still figuring out exactly what in the hell happened here. Clearly, you know, I can't just come in here and make a unilateral decision to unlock you. But I'm going to work towards making that a unilateral decision.
Yeah, and he didn't do that. What his contribution to that conversation was, I'm not going to let them kill you.
I mean, yes.
Which is, yay.
Talk about the bare minimum.
But still kind of nerve-wracking thinking that that's even something you have to worry about.
Yeah, I just think what he needs to do is say, I'm going to work on this.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe in a separate conversation, and maybe this is before or after, I'm not sure, just go to him and say, listen, you know what you said to Iris. You know the conversations that y'all had. I've got an idea from what I've been told. She just freaked out.
Yeah.
You know what? She was caught way off guard by this whole thing. And it's one of those things that once you're in, you don't know how to get out.
Yeah, and that's true.
So I'm here because I want everyone to be friends, or at the very least, no one to go to jail.
Yeah, for what would you do? I think that makes a lot of sense, and that could have played out much differently if either the friend or the boyfriend had said, "Okay, obviously something went real south here. Let me play mediator. Let me try and work through this. So,
Yeah,
we can all leave and go on our lives and put this behind us."
I mean, and just say, like, listen, I think we both know that Iris isn't actually crazy, okay? She might have been crazy for you.
She's crazy in love.
She might have been crazy for you, but she's not really crazy. So
Yeah, she was perfectly delightful. They were a lovely couple up to that.
yeah.
They were
So-
fun to watch, fun to engage with. Yeah,
So
they
at that
were
point, I'm
great.
like, dude, listen, I am pretty sure I can get you out of this, but I need to know that you're not going to try to press charges or anything like that. Because if you are, then I definitely can't untie you.
Time to die. I mean, what do you do at that point? If even if you try and make nice, and the guy that's tied up saying, you guys are all effed up. This is not going to stand. I'm going to the cops. Like, what do you do in a situation where the restrained person doesn't back down?
Well, I think the problem here is not that he would go to the cops, is that he would go to Dad, who's a senator,
I think it was uncle.
or whatever. Someone close enough to him was
Yeah.
a senator.
Yeah. I mean, then do you lop off his head or like bury him alive, or what do you do?
I mean, I did like that they
Boyfriends
turned to
too.
witchcraft.
Yeah, they did do a spell that was supposed to make him forget the last 2 days, but he heard what they were talking about. So the next day he pretends as if he doesn't remember anything, and then everyone's thrilled thinking, oh my gosh, it worked. And then he goes out to the car and speeds away and then gets in a car accident and injures himself. And
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, in a way, once he does that,
he kind of calms down.
well, you calm down, but
I mean, you get rid of that
We
panic.
start to enter in the whole Grand Theft Auto conversation.
Oh, well, I think if you have been kidnapped, I don't think anyone has any concern about Grand Theft Auto. Nor
Well-
does that kind of charge stick after you've been restrained for almost 2 days.
Well, but as they noted, it really is her word against his. And the thing is in the eye of the law,
But there's evidence. I mean, there's probably,
What evidence?
marks against his wrists and his ankles, probably of...
yeah, we tied people up. We did kinky sex stuff.
Yeah, but there's a difference between an hour of kinky sex stuff and, probably 30-something hours that's going to do. Also, she elbowed him when she
It got
started to
rough.
unlock him. It got rough. Yeah, no.
I've sustained injuries before.
See, but that's where it gets complicated when you have her friend and boyfriend in the scenario. Then you're getting a bunch of people to lie, and anytime you try to get a bunch of people to lie, that's where things fall apart. I remember I used to watch Judge Judy all the time, and she always would say, "You never have to have a good memory if you tell the truth." It's because if you're just telling the truth of what's going on, you don't have to remember, like, oh, we said that we went 2 miles up and then we turned left and then we went to the witch's house. And, like, you don't have to remember all these made up details.
That's not true. Even if you're telling the truth, you have to remember the details of what it was.
Yeah, but you're not trying to get everybody on the same page. Like, other people might notice different things, but you're not trying to remember the same story. You're not trying to memorize a story and get it in sync with everybody else's story.
Yeah.
That's also, and honestly, if you do, that's also suspicious too. If everyone says the exact same thing, because that's not real either. Like the reality is in the shades of gray, where other people might notice different things and have different takes on them, but it's similar enough to have the same thing. But if you say the same story exactly, then you're like, oh yeah, no, you guys all talked.
Yeah.
We're giving tips on people how to kidnap people and get away and be interrogated by the police.
I don't know. I'm. You're still running in that whole my word against his thing, and yes, based on who his uncle is, she's probably going to get arrested, and she's probably going to go to trial. But once you get to trial, then it's not the senator, it's 12 jurors.
12 angry men.
And the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I don't think they could. I don't think prosecution could prove beyond a reasonable doubt that story is correct. I mean, it's his word versus hers. You need some real legitimate proof. And I just don't think there's anything that he could have that couldn't be written off to being something else.
So you are Isaac. You've gone through this whole ordeal. You escape in the car. You get in a car crash. You injure. I think you break your ankle or your leg or something. And then you're sitting at the edge of a creek, and you can't move. And you keep calling Iris because it's the only person you know. And Iris comes. What would you do in that case? At this point, you actually legitimately need help. You are injured. You're out in the woods. You have no hope of anyone, and you're screaming the only name that you hope could possibly find you. What do you do if you're him?
I mean, exactly what he did. Listen.
Simmer down and say sorry?
It's the same thing you should have done the whole time. Say the thing you need to say at that moment. And don't be too prideful to be like, I don't need your help. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. No, he definitely needed help. But the thing
if I'm Iris, I don't know that I'm looking for him.
Yeah. No, she was, at that point, she was willing to go far beyond what was needed or necessary to make sure that he was safe. Like, oh my gosh, there was an accident. Where is he? We have to find him. So considering this guy could likely put her in jail or get her arrested. It's an interesting conversation whenever you talk about ethics with people, because everyone's line is different. Everyone's boundaries are different on what's okay, what's acceptable, what they're willing to do, and where they draw the line of what they won't do.
Yeah, and the whole thing is just a learning lesson in conversation with relationships. Do not be scared to ask the other person where they are if you're not sure, especially if you think they might be further ahead than you. And I hate to be sexist, but double especially if that's the girl who's further ahead than the guy.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the guy, not...
Oh, no, I've been there. I've definitely been the one further ahead.
Yeah. If you're adult enough to have sex with someone, you should be adult enough to have hard conversations. And sadly, a lot of us aren't. It's awkward, it's uncomfortable. You don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. You don't want to do this and that. And so we avoid difficult conversations. And when we do that, it creates so many problems down the road. We're not avoiding something, we're actually creating something, and that's a bigger problem down the line.
Yeah, when you're in a traditional dating relationship that's gone over time, periodically one or the other should check in and just say, hey, I just want to check in with you. How are we feeling here? Are we good? I'm thinking that this could be something potentially long term. What do you think? And just have that conversation in a mature adult way, and don't let yourself get blindsided by it.
Also, too, have that conversation regardless of the person. For example, some people they want to date, but they're, confirmed bachelors, or, the same could be for the woman. And the person that you are is irrelevant because they don't want to get married or they don't want to have kids or something. And when you don't have those conversations to see, hey, where are we going? Those help you determine your long-term compatibility. So sometimes it's not even about where are we as a couple. It's like, hey, what do you want? Because if I'm with someone who wants a family of 5, I am not that gal. So when you get really clear.
Oh, hell, I covered religion, politics, and family on first dates. Like every time. For that reason. They're complete deal breakers.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting past a first date if I'm not somewhat. Though I did have someone once who said that they were on the same page with me, and then came back later and said, you know what, I think I've rethought this. Maybe I'm not on the family thing.
Really?
And,
they hadn't thought about it prior to that?
Well, they had, but I guess they had some epiphany. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. I mean, people are allowed to change their mind on things. But yeah, I mean, have these conversations. And by the way, you have them, not that conversation, but once you've got that settled in, where were we going? You should have this 2 to 3 hours post-coital.
See, these are the rules. The rules that you're
Well,
thinking.
it's not a rule, but it boils down to, one, you've gotten the baby batter out of the brain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Thank you. There's something about Mary for that reference. Like, it's not immediately after when one is glowing.
I don't know if you want to have that conversation while you're in bed with someone, because depending
Oh,
on
no,
how
not
they
in
answer, then
bed.
you're stuck.
Like I said, 2 to 3 hours post-coital.
No, I understand that, but if it's the middle, if you go to bed and you have sex, you're in that bed for 8 hours or so.
Oh, I mean, you could do it the next morning or whatever, in that case, if that's the situation. But here's the thing. If you're sleeping in the same bed with someone with any regularity, you probably have a good idea. That's probably something committed, if they're in your bed, like, all the time. But if it's not, I mean, you want to catch people in a state when they can give you good answers. And that's not when they're trying to get some. It's definitely not while they're getting some. And it's not just after they've got some. It needs to calm down a little bit so that your brain is thinking clearly and you two can both give adult answers.
I would take that one step further and say, if you want to have those conversations and you are not 1,000% sure where the other person stands, if you want extra just guardrails on that conversation, have it somewhere that's not your house. Because I had a conversation with a friend, and the guy had a similar conversation with her, and it was his house, and then she was like, left like, okay, I guess I'm gonna get the heck out of here because I'm clearly not wanted. And it was very awkward. So, if you have those conversations at a coffee shop or out somewhere, then you also don't feel like you are in someone else's space or someone's in your space, and that there needs to be this awkward.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. At the very least, make sure you have all your clothes on.
Yeah.
Like, you never want to have this conversation naked. But yeah, no, actually, I like that. Do it on neutral ground. It also minimizes the chance that someone's going to just freak out.
Yeah. I got fired once. Someone invited me out to lunch, and I got there, and there was somebody else there, and they promptly fired me, and they had lunch. But I know that their thought process was like, oh, let's do this somewhere public, and she can't make a big deal. And then we send her off on her merry way, and we have Cobb salad. So yeah, nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.